ஸோ, இப்போ வந்து redux JS வந்து பார்க்குறோம். ஸோ, redux JSல வந்து we need to keep remember store, action, reducer, selector. செலக்டர்னா ரிட்ரீவ் பண்றது, ரெடியூசர்னா ரிமூவ் பண்றது, ஆக்ஷன்ஸ்னா வந்து ஆட் பண்றது, அண்ட் தென் ஸ்டோர்னா வந்து ஹோல்ட் த ஸ்டேட் ஆஃப் த அப்ளிகேஷன். Just keep remember this. What are the okay? What are the core principles of Redux? Single source of truth. State is read only, and the changes are வந்து made with the pure functions. What is the action in the Redux? Action is a plain JavaScript object that describes the state of the change. என்ன சேஞ்ச் நடந்ததுன்றது either add or remove. What is the reducer? Reducer is a pure function that takes current state and then action and returns a new state. Okay. And what is the Redux store? Store holds the tree state in the tree format of application. How do you update the state in the Redux? Dispatch action மூலமா வந்து we can able to update it. Dispatch an action to the store and the reducer specifies the how the state changes. What does the dispatch do in the Redux? Dispatch sends an action to the reducer store to trigger the state changes. What are action creator Redux? Function that return an action object. What is middleware in the Redux? Middleware adds the extra functionality between the dispatching of an action and the moment it reaches the reducer. What is the combined reducer function in Redux? It merges multiple reducers into a single root reducer. How is the state tree in Redux when structured? The state tree is a single object that represents the application's entire state. What is the role of the provider component in the Redux? It makes the Redux store available to all the components. Okay, provider தான் வந்து make sure it is okay. What is the connect function in the Redux? It connects a component, React component to Redux store. And then how do you subscribe to change in the Redux store? Use the subscribe method to listen for state changes. How is immutable maintained in the Redux? By ensuring the state in the never muted but replaced with a new object. How do you handle the side effects in the Redux? Use middleware like the Redux Thunk or the Redux Saga for handling the side effects. What is Redux Thunk? Redux Thunk is a middleware that allows you to write action creator that returns the function instead of the actions. What is Redux Saga? Redux Saga is a middleware that uses a generator function to handle the asynchronous side effects. What are selector in the Redux? Selector are functions used to retrieve the specific data from the state. How do you use debug Redux application? Redux DevTools on the extension for monitoring and then debugging. Can Redux used with any JavaScript framework? Yes, Redux can be used with React, Angular, Vue, or any other JavaScript functions. What is the purpose of create store in the Redux? It creates the Redux store that holds the state of the object app. How do you initialize the state in the Redux? Pass an initial state to the reducer or store during the initialization. How do you handle the asynchronous action in the Redux? Use middleware like Redux Thunks or Redux Saga to handle the asynchronous action. What is a pure function in the Redux? A function that returns the same output of the for the same input outside effects. What is the purpose of map state to prop? It maps the state from the Redux store to the component prop. What is the purpose of map dispatch to prop? It maps the dispatch function to props, allowing component to send the actions to the store. What is the difference between the Redux and then context API? Redux is more powerful with a built-in dev tool, while the context API is simpler but less feature rich. What are high order component HOC in Redux? HOC are functions that take a component, return a new component, often used inject Redux functionality. What is the use of apply middleware function? It is used to enhance the store with the middle layer. Middle layer இது பண்ணும். Okay. How do you reset the Redux store? Return the initial state from the Reduxer when a reset action is dispatched. How does Redux handles the large scale of applications? By splitting the state and reducers into smaller, manageable pieces using the combined reducer. What is the purpose of bind action creator? It wraps the action creators in the dispatch calls so they can be invoked directly. How do you optimize the performance Redux? Memoization for the selectors, keep components pure and reduce the unnecessary renders. What are the common use cases for Redux? Managing application state, handling side effects, and coordinating data between the components. How can Redux one be used with the TypeScript? By defining the type for action, reducer, and state to ensure the type safety. What is the difference between Redux and then Mobex? Redux enforces the strict unidirectional data flow, while Mobex provides a more flexible reactive approach. What are alternative to Redux? Context API, Mobex, Recoil, Just and how do you handle farm state in the Redux? Redux forms or formic for managing farm state in the Redux. More boilerplate. What is the limitation of the Redux? No? More boilerplate code and it can become complex for small applications.